Hey guys, Jack on Wrist here, back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Junghans Form A. Now today's video is a special one, and the reason for that is because this watch was sent in by DelrayWatch.com. I'm sure many of you guys are already very familiar with DelrayWatch.com, but for those who are not, DelrayWatch.com is a great source for new and pre-owned watches. If you're looking for any kind of a watch or just want to look at a great selection, go check them out, link in the description below. You will not be disappointed with what you find. So like I said, in today's video, we're talking about the Junghans Form A. So we're gonna go ahead and flip the camera around, talk about the brand Junghans, and talk about this spectacular watch. So here is the Junghans Form A, but before we get on with the dimensions and specifications and all the features, let's talk about Junghans as a brand. They were founded in 1861 in Germany and are actually the largest manufacturer of watches in Germany. Junghans is synonymous with the Bauhaus style. I would describe Bauhaus as minimalistic but with a purpose. It's not like your fashion watches you see all the time where they're just simple because they're cheap. This is a well-designed piece, easy on the eyes, just beautiful. And this came to be from Max Bill's influence. Max Bill was a Swiss designer and artist who went to the Bauhaus School of Design in Germany, and he started working for Junghans designing some of their watches. You may know the name Max Bill from the Junghans Max Bill lineup. Now this is a great alternative to the Max Bill lineup, but still has a huge influence of the Bauhaus style in it. It's a beautiful watch, and without further ado, let's actually talk about this particular watch. So let's dive right in with the dimensions here. It has a 39mm case, a 21mm lug width, a 44mm lug tip to lug tip, and it is 9.5 millimeters thick, nice and thin for a dressier piece, very fitting in my opinion. Now, I think this watch really fits any size wrist out there. That 44mm lug tip to lug tip will really make it so it fits well on smaller wrists. I'll show it off later on my 6.5-inch wrist, but that 39mm case is fairly big. And with the fact that there's no real bezel here, it's pretty much all dial. I think it's going to look great even on a bigger wrist for sure. So let's talk about the case here. You can see it has pretty much an all polished finish. I think it looks really good on a watch like this. Nothing too sophisticated in terms of the finish, but like I said, looks good. Now it has a nice signed crown here, a nice touch for a watch at this price point. Now speaking of the price point, this watch retails at $1,195. Now you can get it for cheaper on websites like DelrayWatch.com, where this watch was actually about $400 off the retail price right away. It's brand new. Again, check them out, link in the description below. Moving on to the dial here, you can see it is a nice gray anthracite colored dial and very much in line with the Bauhaus styling. Very simple, just small slivers denoting each of the indices, and it has some great texture as well with little squares denoting each of the minutes. I think it really adds a lot here, a little bit of depth. It also has a nice color match date wheel. A date's always a welcome sign for a watch, very useful, so great to see that as well. Covering the dial is a sapphire crystal, but interestingly enough, when you turn the watch over and you take a look at the back here, you can see it's actually covered up by a gray or darkened acrylic crystal. You usually don't see anything like this, any real color to that back display case. So pretty interesting to see. It almost gives you a little bit of a sneak peek into the movement without showing you too much. I really like it. Now inside the watch is an ETA-based 2824-2 Swiss-made movement with 38-hour power reserve, hacking and hand winding. I'll pull out the crown here so you can see the hacking function. And as you can see by the fact that I did not unscrew the crown, this is not a screw down crown. And it actually has 50 meters of water resistance, so pretty good, not bad for a dress watch or a dressier watch. You'd probably like to see a little bit more, maybe around 100 meters of water resistance, but 50 will get the job done, no problem. So moving on to my favorite part of the watch here, the stainless steel bracelet. It is very cool, retro inspired. It articulates very well. As you can see, it's made up of all these small links. It just kind of rolls off my finger here. And my favorite part is that it goes to this really cool hidden clasp almost. You can see the Junghans logo and name there. Now the clasp itself is nothing crazy special. It's just a classic sort of butterfly clasp. You'd see that on a lot of different watches. But I love that it comes to this very hidden point in the bracelet. I just think it looks very clean, and I think it really is fitting of this watch. And it's really unique because the Junghans does not really make a whole lot of bracelets for their watches, so to see it on a very cool dressier piece like this is very interesting. So I love this watch, but I do have one minor complaint I want to share about it, and that is the fact that it has a 21mm lug width. Now I alluded to that earlier with the dimensions, and it's just a little bit of a shame. This is a strap monster. It's going to look great on so many different pieces due to its versatile design, but more than likely you don't have a 21mm strap lying around to put on it, so you're going to have to either go out of your way and buy them, or you're gonna have to squeeze a 22mm in between the lugs. Not the biggest deal in terms of gripes with a watch, but just something to keep in mind. This Junghans Form A is a great, well-spec'd watch. It has an awesome Bauhaus design influence, really nice looking dial, and a really cool retro-inspired bracelet. So if you're looking for something in this mid-level luxury space from a great brand with a great design influence, do not hesitate to check out this Junghans Form A. So that's pretty much it for this video. That was the Junghans Form A. Definitely a really cool dress watch from the brand that is very unique. I would definitely recommend it. And again, huge shout out to DelrayWatch.com. Again, there's a link in the description below if you want to check out their great selection of both new and pre-owned watches. Like I said, they have some great deals, so do not hesitate to give them a look. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.